Welcome and thank you for clicking on my video. I don't have a ton of time today, but we're still going to run through every stock that we cover on this channel, the SPY, the Qs, the Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, and Meta today. So we're going to go through some charts pretty quickly here. We're just going to try to run through them because I don't have a ton of time right now. I got to make this a little bit quick. So what we want to do is starting off with the SPY, let's give you those daily ranges, 522.33 to the upside. Then we have 515.39 to the downside. So you're noticing now we're outside of this range for a potential for some support to come out here. Remember, we were talking about some kind of 15 minute divergence by coming down to this area, allowing the Qs to actually test their bottom side of the weekly expected move. But this is all the options market expects right now for downside for the entire week. So we could be getting some kind of pop. Now, what if we actually see a move upward, and then now you have to say, as these ranges start to shift down, we start to point towards possibly getting some kind of lower high up here. So we could be getting some kind of bounce up here on the 30-minute. Will that just curl back over into negative territory? We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff live, because if you curl back over, you might be just starting some kind of negative trend going on into next week. So we're going to be paying attention to this live. Join us in the morning. And as we switch over to the Qs, you're going to see, we haven't necessarily tested the actual bottom of the range. Now, this is funny because the SPY, we didn't check the daily, but you're pretty much testing a 20-day moving average on the SPY. Now, the Qs are in between their 20 and their 50, but this is how the Qs have held up so many times throughout this big bullish run. So I wanted you to have the ranges for tomorrow. That'd be 445.11 to the upside, 437.05 to the downside. Now, what this would do is on a 15 or 5-minute chart, we could see that divergence come in, and then we could break to the upside. So we could form some bullishness if we actually head down early on in the day. The SPY would be out of its range for the week, and the Qs would be, testing maybe the bottom side of its range, which would tell you the SPY has that 68% chance to land back in this zone. Okay, so just pay attention. If we see weakness here, look for us to maybe get some kind of bounce. But if we see strength out the gate, this could be some kind of lower high. So make sure that if we are going to see positivity, we probably need to reclaim this daily expected move and use it as support to then head higher. That can happen once you get outside of the range. Till then, we can use it as some resistance. So that's something to pay attention to. Apple, I just wanted to point this out. You do have that 30-minute divergence that as of right now did confirm. It's a little bit cleaner on the hourly. So I wanted to show you guys this just to show you, hey, you have a divergence here. You have a divergence on the hourly, you have a divergence on the MACD and the RSI at the same time, okay? So we could be seeing some upward price action. I would look for this 2-hour to actually curl up, or even just the 1 hour at this point to curl up and go positive. We could be seeing some kind of move forward. Maybe we want to react all the way up to here and then base out and go test this zone again. That is very, very possible. Now, if we get some kind of bounce and we just keep rolling over, remember, we're in a negative trend. So be very careful in this area, but we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff live. Tesla, similar thing here, right? We just keep popping and then dropping. We get a little pop, we drop, we move sideways, we drop, we pop, we drop. Are we moving sideways to drop one more time? Well, we'll have to see. The 30-minute here is able to cross. If we're able to break to the upside, maybe we get some resistance up in this area. So really, this is looking pretty negative. Any bounce that you see could just roll over into negative territory, and you see further downside. So we're going to pay attention to Tesla tomorrow a little bit closer. But if we head down, right, and create some kind of divergence, that would be a nice little setup. And we'll post those over on Patreon, which you can join the Patreon down in the description to get those weekly ranges for each stock that we do cover on this channel. Amazon, something about Amazon right now on the 30-minute could be creating another divergence here. So if we do see a little pop higher, we could create some kind of divergence between these 3 points, giving you that triple divergence on the MACD and the RSI at the same time. So that is something to pay attention to with Amazon on this 30-minute chart. We could start to roll down, reject again on the daily and things like that. So Nvidia on the 30-minute, this is what I wanted to show you guys, was a possible divergence forming here and confirming as of right now, saying the momentum here might be a little bit dead. So maybe we're actually going to see this head upward with this flagging. So this is a trade that could have some potential in it. I just wanted to show this to you and show you how the 2-hour could just curl up. Now we could get a lower high, so pay attention to that. Pay attention to these moves fading. Jerome Powell talks, and we're going to be live for that tomorrow, so pay attention. But if we actually see this make a big move up, we could get some kind of divergence that gets us right next to negative territory, and maybe that's actually the moment we are waiting for. But as of right now, 30-minute, the 2-hour, everything is going negative. So if we see more negativity, we can see that negative trend really beginning, right? So we can get some kind of bounce, maybe even here, and then roll over. Maybe we just get a lower high at this point. So pay attention to this, but I would say still this level of about 840, very important. If we see some downside, look for 855 to 840, and then maybe we get a bounce from that level. AMD, remember, this is one we were saying, hey, watch out because this thing could break down if it starts to break this low. It's crossed over on this 2-hour MACD. So now it needs to test this low, and that's exactly what's happening. It's testing the closing of this low right now, and then we see that buy back up. So we're back within this structure here. Now we can see if we get some kind of move up, left, head, right shoulder, maybe we actually do want to see a bigger move to come fill this gap for AMD. Meta, going forward, it crossed on the 2-hour. I'm going to be looking for some kind of divergence here tomorrow for Meta. If I see some strength and see this break to the upside, that could be short-lived. We could get that little divergence here that wouldn't even get us into overbought territory on the RSI. If that just pops up and rolls over, well, this is that weekly expected move. We gave this for Meta, so it's right above us, and we could be seeing that turn right back around. So pay attention to that going forward. Volatility was able to pop higher today. So we saw that 2-hour go positive. We're seeing the daily crossover. We're seeing a lot of the things that add up to a stock market crash, right? But it's not able to get above the 200. We weren't able to close above the 200. We were able to cross. Now we could see, the VIX isn't up by 10%. We don't have that chance for a green day, all that stuff. Really, it just says, hey, this has the opportunity to go positive here. Maybe we actually do see some kind of bounce tomorrow or something like that, and then that is short-lived because this is not looking pretty from a volatility perspective. It's looking like we're going to see that volatility creep back up in this market. Could mean some very, very bad things for the stock market. So going forward, I just wanted to, the main takeaway here, it really looks like we could see a little bit of a bounce tomorrow as the SPY tests its 20-day moving average. It's, are we going to hold it or are we just going to give it up right away? We do have a lot of data and things like that coming out throughout the week, and we have CPI coming out April 10th, so mark that on your calendars. We're still probably going to see some choppy price action until those big moments, unless Jerome Powell comes out and says something very, very bad tomorrow. We'll have to find out. So we'll be watching this live, and I'd love for you to join me. But really, I just hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I hope you guys have all the luck in the world trading tomorrow, and I hope that you come and watch me live tomorrow morning, all right? Have a good night. Peace.